Hey, good morning. We are on week 2 now, and we're going to start reading our book this week. So if you go to classwork, the week 1 assignments, you should have already watched the lesson, done the background information assignment, and taken the quiz. So this week, we're actually going to start reading the book. It's a good book. It's not super long. It's only 6 chapters. So we'll do 1 chapter a week for the next 6 weeks, and then there will be a couple final assignments at the end. So what you're going to do, where it says read chapter 1, that's the chapter you need to read. So when you open it up, you can see it has page numbers. You can kind of play with the size if you want. If you want to print it out, you can print it out so you can have a hard copy, and you're going to be reading the story. Okay. When you finish reading chapter 1, now that I've made it really small, when you finish reading chapter 1, or you can have it open while you're reading chapter 1, there is an assignment. So we have some vocab. So you're going to look up what part of speech are these words. Is it noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition? What type of part of speech is it? What's the definition? And then use that word in a sentence. Okay. The comprehension questions, these are just from chapter 1. So make sure you take your time and get those questions answered. And then down at the bottom, it says copy and paste direct quotes from chapter 1. Be sure to include page numbers. So I'm just going to tell you straight up, the final essay that you're going to write at the end, the question, you're going to write an argument essay answering the question, is George a good friend to Lenny? And you'll meet those 2 characters. So while you read, you need to keep track of evidence that yes, George is a good friend, and no, George is not a good friend. Okay, there's going to be an equal amount of evidence on both sides. So the more that you keep track of that evidence while you read each chapter, the easier your life is going to be 6 weeks from now when you have to go back and find that evidence. You can just look at these charts rather than having to go through all the chapters and reread it. Okay. The other thing you can do to make your life easier as far as that goes is while you're reading, if you want to open it with Cami and edit it with Cami, you can just highlight evidence. Maybe in green, highlight evidence that yes, he is a good friend, and in red, highlight evidence that no, he's not a good friend. All right. So you can do that and keep track of it that way if you'd like as well. So this book is written by John Steinbeck. It's about 2 men, George and Lenny. So what you want to pay attention to in chapter 1 is how is each man introduced. They're ranch hands. They're leaving one ranch to go work at another ranch. So pay attention. See if you can figure out why they're leaving. Do you think they're leaving by choice or were they forced to? Pay attention to the differences between the 2 men. George and Lenny are very, very different. So pay attention to what makes them different. And kind of along those same lines, pay attention to who's in charge, who kind of takes the lead, who has the power in that friendship, and what do you learn about each of the men. There's also going to be lots of repetition. So the same things come up, the same things are said. So pay attention to kind of what that effect has on you as the reader and maybe on what you think about the characters. Okay, so you're reading chapter 1. Doing the chapter 1 questions, and then on Thursday the chapter 1 quiz will be posted, so make sure you have chapter 1 read and the questions done because those will help you be successful on the quiz. All right. If you have any questions, please email me. The attendance word of the week is stapler, stapler. Okay, stapler. So if you missed our meet this morning, email me the word stapler. I'll get your attendance counted for today. Other than that, have a great week, and we'll see you on Thursday.